Hello and welcome to the Fourth and Fierce FanCast. My name is MJ. This is the first and only FanCast hosted by a female dedicated specifically to the NFL. Now, I'm an NFL super fan. I know you're wondering, what's a FanCast? That sounds crazy. You're a maniac. Okay, so I'm not a professional podcaster, okay? I've never had a podcast. I've never been in journalism. I don't have a journalism degree. I work in a whole nother field, but I am a person who absolutely loves the NFL. I do. And I'm kind of driving my family crazy, always talking about it. So I've decided to make my own fan cast, if you will, a place where I can interact with other NFL super fans. Right now, I don't have a phone number or a phone place to place to contact via phone, but I do have an email. So I would love to interact with any other NFL super fans. You can email me at fourthandfierce@gmail.com. It's the number four, THANDFIERCE@gmail.com. I would love to hear your opinions, thoughts. I would love to debate in the chat regarding, what you saw, what you think, what you like. And I know you're thinking like the games haven't even started yet. Our first game isn't until next week. I know, but I did want to get out here and get a little bit of information about myself and about what this podcast will be about. So basically, excuse me, FanCast will be about. So basically, it'll just be an interactive place for fans so we can talk and discuss things that we saw, fiercely debate how we feel about our teams, the plays, the coaches, some takes we may have seen on different sports channels, shows, and things that we watch. So this is just a place to for where we can discuss, talk, and kind of just get out that NFL energy that we all have. I know I have it, and I believe there's a lot of people like me out there. If you're like me, you wake up every morning and you get your greenie fix. I've been getting my greenie fix for a very, very long time. I started on Mike and Mike with him and Mike Golick, and moved right on over to Get Up, which I absolutely love, and they have some great takes on there. So I usually watch my NFL. I record games. I watch NFL Network all the time. It's on the background right now. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I would like to talk to and interact with other people, and build a community around the things that we all love. I mean, there's space for everyone. At here, I would love to talk and interact with everybody, but there is one thing that I do want to stress. This is not a place for anger or hate. If you want to fiercely debate and talk about the games, things we love, and have these uh, conversations and debates about the games, and players, and calls, and coaches, and teams, and all that, I welcome that and I love it. But what I will not tolerate is hate or of any kind. This is not a place for that. This is a place for fans who love the game, who want to talk about the game and talk about what we saw and what's going on and what we think. And I can't wait to spend some time with you guys. So I know we don't have a lot to talk about right now. So this is just a quick little snippet. I hope you guys watch it. The games don't start till next week, as I stated. My Detroit Lions, that's right, Lions fans, my little pin, and my Honolulu Blue Nails will be playing I keep calling the San Diego, LA Chargers next week in the Hall of Fame game. I'm interested to see that because we will get a little bit of a snippet. Now, I know a lot of people don't love the preseason. I do, and let me tell you why. Preseason is where I learned a lot of things, and sometimes when those preseason games are so important, not just to the players and the scouts and people on the team, but it's important to fans too because I learned a lot of things about players who were just going to be excellent in the league simply by watching preseason games. I'll give you an example. Terrell Davis. A lot of you may not know who Terrell Davis is. I'm old. I certainly do. Terrell Davis played for Denver, and I remember watching a preseason game with my dad many, many years ago. I mean, probably before a lot of you were born. Many, many years ago, and Terrell Davis was on punt, which he was on a kickoff return, and he made a tackle in that game that was just it, it- he laid the guy out. I wonder if you probably could find it on YouTube. And I said, "My goodness!" And I'm like, "What?" So I looked him up. At that time, Google was not a thing, so I had to go to the library. I know that's insane. I love the NFL, and I always have. I can't remember a time that I didn't. So I was in the library and I, kind of looked him up, and then I watched a couple sports shows and little things and found out that he was a rookie running back on the team. And I said, he might, a running back hits like that? Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Terrell Davis is one of the best running backs I've ever seen, won two Super Bowls in Denver. Same thing with Russell Wilson. By the time when the first time I saw Russell Wilson, I think he was competing with Tavares Jackson. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please tell me. For the starting position in Seattle. And he just played lights out that whole preseason. I said, he's going to start. And I remember talking to some people I had met in a sports bar, and they were saying, oh, he's not going to start. Tavares have Tavares. And Russell Wilson started. Russell Wilson won. He did great. I think a year or two later, he won the Super Bowl. So preseason does have its ups and downs. I know it's hard to watch because you don't recognize the players, you don't recognize a lot of it. But I absolutely I love watching the preseason because it does give you a little insight of who may or may not make the roster. It also gives you an insight, especially if you're a fan of a team like me. I'm a Lions fan, and it can get exhausting, but I love it. I love my team. And I get a chance to see who may make the team, who may not, things that I like, things I didn't like. And I really want to get an opportunity to kind of see the players. I used to take my children when they were little, because my dad used to take me to the training camps when they had the family days, and we never missed that. And I got to interact with players and talk to them, and that's one of my favorite things to do. So if your team does that, have that family day like the Lions used to, go take your family. If you don't have a family, go by yourself. It's really fun. A lot of interaction. You get to meet the players. You get a lot of they have a lot of good little swag and things you can purchase and a lot of things they give away, free tickets, season tickets. It's fun. And you get an opportunity to kind of see them work out. So that's a really fun thing to do. And that's kind of what a lot of the teams, like I said, they just started their training camp. So if your team has a family day, go to that. You're going to love it. So that's kind of what a little bit about me and what I do and what this podcast will be about. It's just going to be NFL interactions. Like I said, we can fiercely debate anything you want. I'm here for it because I love it. I love having the interactions with other fans, and there are not a lot of, I don't have a lot of fans around me here where I live. But I'm very happy to talk to all of you. So, in the spirit of preseason and training camp started, this little snippet video that I'm posting today is just going to talk about some of the things that I'm looking forward to watching in the 2025 season. Now, of course, I'm looking forward to watching the Lions because I'm a Lions girly. We talked about this. I'm looking forward to seeing my team. I was I was very upset when we lost to Washington. I'm not gonna I kid you not. If you want to go look up my TikToks and see them, my TikTok is at the best day of the week. I was just, ugh, I was highly upset. Besides the point, I have a lot of football takes on there. But yeah, I think we're gonna do better this year. I don't think we're gonna be one and done. I think it's gonna be a tougher road because we have a much tougher schedule. But I feel like we have the roster to do it. I know we did lose um, our coordinators, but that's okay. That's okay. I still think that we have the talent. Our head coach is an amazing guy. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get to it. So these are the teams that I want to watch, or the things that I'm looking for the top five things I'm looking forward to, or teams I'm looking forward to watching in 2025. Number five would be the Falcons and Michael Penix. Now, I'm interested in that because the Falcons are a really unique team. They went and grabbed Kirk Cousins. That didn't really work out. They drafted Michael Penix, and they've been kind of floating with the quarterback position since they parted ways with Matt Ryan some time ago. I feel like that it's going to be interesting to watch because they have another fast moving quarterback named Michael with an interesting last name. We all know about Michael Vick. So I'm interested to see what that team does and how they progress. Plus, that is a very winnable division. You have to think you have Carolina in that division, you have the Saints, you have Tampa. Tampa is when you think about that division, when you think about the NFC South, you're thinking Tampa's going to run away with it. But this division is it has a lot of parity. You just never know who's gonna jump in and take it. Tampa's probably the most solid team because they have the quarterback. They went to the playoffs. They have a more stable roster, I could say. The Saints are still running around trying to figure out their quarterback position. Carolina, which I love Carolina. Carolina is still trying to. They just are getting into their groove with Bryce Young. He's just got back in the roster, and they looked really good towards the end of the season. So I'm interested to see how that goes, and I'm interested to see if Atlanta is able to really make some noise in the NFC South. It's a very winnable division. So that's one of the teams I'm looking at. Number four is the Washington Commanders. Now, I know I did just mention that I'm not very happy with the Commanders about beating my Lions, and I'm not kidding. I'm really not. But that team is stacked. Now, I always loved Scary Terry McLaurin when I used to play fantasy football with my family. I still We don't really play that much anymore. Um, I always picked him. And they're like, he doesn't have a quarterback. Scary Terry was good, even without a solid quarterback, he was so good. And now he has Jaden, and I think Jaden's an amazing QB. I mean, he what he did to us. Like I said, I don't want to watch that game again, but for the sake of knowing everything, I do watch it. I did watch it a couple times. He's very good, and I just want to see if he's going to translate and transition in his second year. They have an excellent defense in Washington. He has, like I said, Scary Terry. They have a running game. I don't know how Debo fits into that, but I'm interested to see what this team does in 2025, and if they're able to make moves. Again, that division is it's an interesting division to me. You have Dallas, which you never know what they're going to do, but they're always in the news because Jerry. You also have the Eagles, who are the Super Bowl champs, and they earned it, and that team is solid. Jaden Hurts is a top QB in the league. I'm not going to debate this with anybody because he is. The first Super Bowl he had when he played Pat Mahomes, if you look at that game, he outplayed him. He did not make a mistake in that game. I think there was like one fumble, and I don't even think that was his fault. He did not make a mistake in that game. He played beautifully. He just ran into, Pat Mahomes when he was Pat Mahomes and at the highest level. But this last Super Bowl, I mean, he just played lights out. I was so happy for the Eagles and happy for the fans. And he looked chef's kiss. He looked fantastic. He looked great. He's a fantastic QB1, and that's going to be a very scary team. But Washington did beat them in the regular season. This is one of the things I love about the NFL. It only takes one game. It only takes one game to get where you need to be. So, and then you have also in that division, you have the Giants, which you don't know what the Giants are going to be or do because they have just acquired Russell Wilson. I don't even know if he's going to start or how that's going to work. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. They were looking okay at the end of the 2024 season, so we'll see how that goes coming up here in the 2025 season. So I'm not really sure what the Giants are going to be. Um, but like I said, I mean, never know. But that's a very interesting division to look at. So the number three team that I would like to watch in 2025 will be the Houston Texans. Now, listen, I like CJ Stroud. I think I've watched a lot of his interviews. One of my favorite podcasts is The Pivot. I watched him on The Pivot. He's a very well spoken, well mannered. He's a very confident young man, and he has a very good team. And I think that this might be the year he can make the transition to being a really highly, what's the word I want to look for? A very uh, he can be a real force in the NFL this year. Now, I don't really know about Houston as an organization. I know they have their issues, especially with the whole Deshaun Watson debacle. But CJ Stroud and that team looks good. They again have a good defense. I'm a defensive girly. My favorite position is safety. DB always has been. I like when they hit. So these are some of the things that I'm looking for from Houston. I'm looking for them to transition. I'm looking for CJ to really come into his own. He always already had a pretty good arm. He can move in the pocket. They have a decent line. I really think they want to get their running game. If they can get their running game, you know, moving, I feel like Houston can really make some noise in the AFC South. That's again a very winnable division. You have Indiana. You don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what Anthony Richardson is and what he's going to do. It was a lot of up in the air with him. You have Jacksonville, which I think is a solid team. Getting Travis Hunter, I really want to see what they do with him. They already have a QB, which people are kind of up and down on him, and I'm okay either way. I think he's a decent quarterback. I think he's good. Like I said, he's one of 32. It's very difficult to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, and I think he's a good one. But I'm just interested to see how they plug Travis Hunter into um, that offense. So Jacksonville, they're a pretty decent team. Tennessee, Tennessee. People never talk about Tennessee, and I'm just here to tell you, Tennessee has been in the AFC Championship game, I think, several times. With I think was it Ryan Tannehill, a quarterback? Like it's Tennessee is a force, and I think this is a this is going to be a very competitive division because I think everybody's on the same kind of like equal footing regarding what they're going to do. But I'm interested to see. I think it's Houston is the most solid team in that division, so in my opinion. So I'm thinking, I'm hoping to see what they're going to do in 2025. Number two is Pittsburgh. Now this is intriguing to me because I am a Mike Tomlin fangirl. I love Mike Tomlin. I think he's one of the best coaches to ever step on the field. He is very he's has the respect of his players. He is a player's coach, but he also he knows how to lead, and that's his skill. That's something that everybody doesn't have, and Mike Tomlin knows how to do that. Now, in my opinion, I think it's time for Mike Tomlin to go to another team. I just don't think. I think he. I think his time at Pittsburgh has run its course. They can't seem to get over the hump, and I don't think it's him. I don't think it's necessarily the talent, even though they have been running around with quarterbacks since Ben left or retired. But I think that it might be time for a change of scenery for him, and I think he and the Rooney family should part ways. Now, Andy Reid was fired from the Eagles, and people were up in arms. And like I said, when it happened, I knew Andy Reid wouldn't be unemployed for more than a day. I don't think he was. I think Kansas City picked him up very quickly, and I think it would be a mutual benefit each for each party if Mike Tomlin and the Rooney family decide to, hey, let me let you go. We're going to go in a different direction, and I'm telling you, he will be picked up immediately because I feel like Mike Tomlin can win anywhere. He can motivate people. I just think maybe that time in Pittsburgh has kind of it's run its course, so to speak. And that's a very solid organization. I mean, they have had like three coaches since like '69, which is insane. But I'm interested to see how he and Aaron Rodgers coexist because Aaron Rodgers is a personality, and that is the nicest way I can put it. I had to deal with Aaron Rodgers for many years here as a Detroit Lions fan, ruining my day, and he did a lot. But I'm interested to see how he and Mike Tomlin work together because this is kind of like in the way that I'm seeing it, this is kind of their both of their last opportunity to show what they can do. And I'm interested to see how that team goes. Plus, looking at that schedule and that division, that is a very interesting division to me. Yeah, Baltimore. Love me some Lamar. Love me some Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson has that same kind of issue that um, Josh Allen has. Can't. I think that it's more in their head than their physical ability to beat Pat Mahomes because he's not. I don't think there are too many quarterbacks in the league who are better than Lamar Jackson. Like he's really good, and he's in the last few years his accuracy and his arm strength and those passes on top of his ability to run and then picking up Derrick Henry. I just he's great. I love him. I feel like it's more in their head. I think it's more as a mental thing. Same thing with Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a Josh Allen is massive. He's a big guy, and he has a lot of athletic ability. It's like Pat's in their head, and they can't get him out. That's what it seems like to me. Because each time that they played him, I feel like they were the better team, had the better roster. But like I said, he has that to me that Tom Brady effect, where he's in here. So there's really not a whole lot you can do. But I feel like Lamar Jackson and Baltimore are going to have to transition this year. If they don't do it this year, they're going to have to start looking at rewiring and reworking their team. Um, it's kind of the same way with Cincinnati. I love Joe Burrow. I really do. Joe Burrow's one of my favorite quarterbacks. I said, if you want to go look at some of my TikToks, you can. I said years ago, Joe Burrow is probably one of the best QBs I've seen in years. He has managed to get to the playoffs, win playoff games. He got to a Super Bowl, beat Pat Mahomes, almost beat Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl with no offensive line protection. I mean, I watch every single game. I have Red Zone. I have multiple TVs, my laptop, my tablet, my phone. I'm always watching games, and I rewatch them. That's my thing. Like I said, I'm a super fan. So looking at these games, I'm like, this guy he's making so many things happen with so little. It's shocking. Like it's really shocking that he's able to do this. And he's really good. And this is why I thought he should have been MVP. Now, I'm not getting into the MVP debate because like Josh Allen, he got it. He played really well. I'm not going to get into that. If you guys want to debate that MVP thing, email me, get in the chat. We can do it. I would love it. But I really think that the real MVP, the most valuable player on his team and any team is Joe Burrow. Because if you put Joe Burrow on any of those other teams, he's already won. He's won. I mean, he's really that good. I love Joe. He's one of my favorite players. And that I don't think Cincinnati did much to improve that offensive line for 2025. So I want to know what's their plan. Him and Jamar Chase are just I love it. Watching those two play makes me very, very happy. And I want to see how they're going to do that. T. Higgins, like he has so many weapons. If they could strip that offensive line, I see Cincinnati just like running away. And I can easily see them beating Baltimore. And I can easily see them beating Pittsburgh. And that brings me to the number one team on the teams to watch this year. And you all know it's Cleveland. Cleveland's the number one team to watch because Cleveland has been flailing for a while. They picked up Deshaun Watson, who I like Deshaun Watson. I always have. I thought he was an excellent QB. I remember his coach, when he was coming out of college, said passing up on him was like passing up on Michael Jordan. And he was really good. Like in Houston, he was. But I think a lot of the off the field antics and I don't want to say antics, the off the field things that happened, and then the breakdown with leadership and ownership in Houston kind of sullied his ability. We all tend to forget how good he was down there because he really was. Because we're all wrapped up in the scandal, the massage scandal, and then what he was not able to do in Cleveland. It kind of tarnished his ability, and I think that affected him on some type of mental levels as well. And I really hope he gets himself together for himself, whether he's on or off the field. I think he's a great uh, player. I always have. I think Deshaun Watson is excellent. I loved him in college, but I'm interested to see how Cleveland transitions with Shador. Shador's fall in the draft was just shocking to me. It was very shocking. I did not see him going all the way to five, but I'm sorry, the fifth round. My apologies, but he seems to be handling that very well. He seems to be working hard and putting as much effort as he can into being the best he can be, and into being a solid QB. And I think watching the preseason this year, I really want to see if he can translate to the league. The NFL is a very difficult place to transition to, especially as a quarterback or really any position, but especially quarterback. I like the NBA. I don't like the NBA as much as the NFL. I'm really not that big of an NBA fan. My sons are. They love it, but I'm more of an NFL girly. And in the NBA, it's a little easier to transition from college to the NBA because it's more about ability. And in the NFL, it's about ability as well, but it's also about where you land and who you have. In my opinion, it's the ultimate team sport because no one person can do it alone. You need to have the line. You need to have the offensive line. You need to have the running game. You need to have the wide receivers. You need to have the defense because you have to have those things to translate. And there have been a lot of QBs that have come out high that had all these abilities in college and that just played beautifully, and didn't translate in the NFL because of where they landed, and that can kind of really mess with someone's psyche. I think Shador is a very solid guy, very solid character. I watched him in Colorado. I didn't watch him very much in Jackson State. I didn't see a lot of those games. A lot of them weren't televised in my area, but I did watch a lot of his Colorado games, and he did not have a very good line. He still made a lot of things happen. He was very good. I think he is a quarterback that you can develop into being a excellent QB1. I'm interested to see how he transitions and if he wins that starting job. So these are the five teams I'm looking to watch in the preseason and in the regular season to see how they translate and if they're able to kind of get over the hump, so to speak. So we don't really have much else to say about the NFL at this time. I didn't expect this video to be this long, but I am glad that I was able to talk to you guys and get out and get us ready for the season. I cannot wait for the season. So if there's something you guys want to talk about, or if you want to, if you have some questions, comments, concerns, even critiques, please feel free. Like I said, this is a fan cast. This is not professional. I am working in my office, at home. Uh, there's no professional camera. It's just me. And I want to interact with you guys. So please feel free to reach out to me at my email. That's fourthandfierce@gmail.com. That's the number four, THANDFIERCE @gmail.com. That's all I have for this week. Hopefully, if you know, if we have some interaction, I'll be great to see you guys next week, and the week after that, and then we'll just keep going along till we get us some good games. I appreciate each and every view and each and every comment and each and every person that takes the time to uh, interact with me in regards to a game we all love. Uh, in any event, everyone, enjoy your day, and remember, we can fiercely debate anything you want about the game that I love.